Hello everyone! Last time on Breath of Fire 2, we got flexed on by a bodybuilder in a dungeon, and among other things, we also ended up fighting a woman who also doesn't believe in clothes. We were supposed to rescue her from those poison darts just now, but, well, I guess I was new to the game and I wasn't expecting to have to actually physically do it myself. I thought it would just be taken care of in a cutscene, but no! You have to actually push up on the D-pad. And now she's bedridden, and I guess we're just gonna have to confront Augus ourselves. Heaven help us.
Right, so how much more difficult will the battle be against him now that we don't have her?
Very much more difficult. Last episode, you saw how rough he could hit at some points, right? But nothing too bad happened other than Lean dying, right?
Yeah, I saw that he was able to one-shot her, which was a little scary.
And normally he can't do the same to Ryu, but as I mentioned in the episode before, the game's sort of bugged to the point where if he gets a crit on his first attack, his second attack is an auto crit. And he can also stack crits on top of when he charges up his next attack. And if he ends a turn with a charged up attack, both of his following attacks are charged up attacks as well. That's not so bad if you have Lean with you, because you can normally kill him before such an eventuality happens. But here, we only have one primary damage dealer, Ryu, and he takes about like 17 hits to kill Augus, assuming no critical hits or death blows or anything, so the chances of something going horribly wrong is much, much higher. So this is gonna be scary.
I can imagine, and I enjoy the effect where I just noticed that when he transforms, the light is drained from the room.
Yeah, that is a really cool effect. It's basically what happens every time a boss is about to happen.
It's a cool attention to detail.
Anyways, the fight proper has started, and just look at how slowly his health moves down.
We need to get lucky to take him down, I think.
Absolutely, and this is really just a jerk move on the developers. I mean, the fight with Lean is a scary but mostly manageable fight that just needed a few tweaks here and there. This was just plain mean. I'm sorry.
Is there any way as a player you would know, what you have to do at first?
Well, you know that Ryu's objective is to push Lean out of the way of the poison darts. But the game doesn't really make it clear that you have to manually do it. Like, a lot of games would just have Ryu do it automatically. If anything, if I were the one doing it, I would just have it to where beating Cat is optional, but if you lose to her, the poison darts hit her. And it would just, at least that way, you know that the game is judging you for your performance. Whereas the way this game handles it, by the time you realize that you're expected to actually move, it's generally too late, because the game doesn't give you a lot of time. So instead, what generally happens is, 1, you're forced to go ahead with this brutally hard fight where Augus can kill you basically whenever he feels like it, or 2, you have to restart everything before the HR director, which also takes a while. And you just saw Augus KO Ryu from full HP, so let's hope we can revive him in time before he does the same to Rand.
Yeah, looks like when you don't have her help, as you said, Yanji's are so much more prevalent.
Yeah.
It seems like you'd lose a lot if you don't have good luck on this.
Indeed. And the fact that he can heal most of the damage you do whenever he wants to on a second strike doesn't help either. Although he can only do that on his second strike. The first strike is 50% attack party leader or 50% charge up, so it's not like he can heal off more than what you're doing, so small mercies, I guess. Don't be too thankful though, because he just ended a turn with build-up, so we need to switch to normal and defend. That's our best chance of getting out of that alive.
Right.
And if it seems like I'm playing it a little risky at points, it's because really you don't have any other options. You have to kill him before he does something really bad, like the aforementioned charged up crits. You're not surviving those no matter what.
Yeah, essentially.
Anyways, we've almost got him down, so hopefully this will be a relatively smooth fight, but you never know.
I wonder if you could go back, but probably not since it's a scripted thing, like got her back.
Nope. I'm afraid, Skyzo, that when Cat goes down, she stays down. Just nothing to be done about that. And did you see that crit charged up kill?
Yeah, it was spooky.
Now, that firecracker we used, like I said, there's a future boss fight that you'd want to save it for, but tackling Augus solo, I'm actually not sure if it's better to use it on him or that fight with the multiple enemies, because as you can see, the fight's a lot slower with just solo Ryu. You got me on that one. My best advice? Just make sure to rescue Cat, because, yeah.
That's fair enough, and that, you know, because you got relatively good RNG, that didn't seem very difficult, but you gotta acknowledge that takes quite a bit of trial and error.
And in a sense, it's unfortunate that this outcome is so undesirable, because one, you get expanded Augus dialogue before he transforms and tries to kill you, and second, we get introduced to a relatively prominent character, or someone who's at least supposed to be kind of important, but doesn't really show up as often as he should. He is standing right above us right now, a character of considerable power and fortitude, Ray. He's the guy that heals Lean if she ends up sick in bed, and you even get some fairly funny bits of dialogue from him. I mean, even now, he's apparently so freaked out by her that he thinks something went wrong when bringing her back, like maybe the poison damaged her mind or something. And when he realizes that's not the case, it leads to this line. Far be it for me to be rude towards a young lady, but do shut up for a moment.
That's funny. So, if you don't help her, you know, in the cutscene, does this impact the story in any way later on?
No. I mean, she's really angry at you for a moment. Then she does a total 180 near the ends and decides you're her best friend anyway. Weird how that happens.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, they would have to design like a whole new route if they wanted to.
And, you know, I guess they're willing to splurge on this side storyline a little, but at the end of the day, she's still gotta join your party. So, really, I kind of wish that they just had you rescue her no matter what, and just found a way to incorporate Ray into the scene anyway. Because like I said, being introduced to him as early as this is actually kind of important. It's a shame you don't normally get that if you play competently.
Right, so how big of a role does he play later on in the story? Ray.
A really important one way later on, but he doesn't really appear often enough, I don't think.
It's a fair criticism.
And of course, you also get a lot more dialogue. Relatively good dialogue, so that's another neat thing.
Also, I just noticed that the candles have the fire cut off, so now I can unsee that.
In their defense, I imagine working with pixels has got to be really tricky, especially when you're trying to incorporate any kind of gradient effect. I mean, I face basically the same challenge when editing the thumbnails for my videos. Like, for example, for the last one, I had to move Ray up, and for that I had to lightly touch up the edges of Ray's hair and also some of the bodybuilder's legs. And that was a real challenge because I still don't really know how to effectively do shading with, like, the paintbrush tool. Gonna put an eye out. That's a reference to some movie. Really good one. I think it's like A Christmas Story or something. One of the recurring lines in that one was a kid wanted to get a BB gun, but everyone kept telling him he'll shoot his eye out if he gets it.
That's not the movie I was expecting this game to reference.
Well, Ryusui likes his pop culture references, and there you go. Lean just decides she wants to help us out after threatening to kill us just moments ago. I mean, Rand made fun of it, so the game's at least aware, but doesn't make it any less weird.
Mind you that this was all because developers didn't want to just automate the thing, the dodging of the darts. I don't get it.
Neither do I, but Breath of Fire 2 things.
Pretty much.
But the weirdest part is when we do the talk option with this priest, and he reveals your innermost thoughts, which is normally pretty cool, but for this, well, first you gotta have Lean in the front slot, so make sure you do that. You once thought strength was the only measure of a person's worth, but losing to a man like Bunyan taught you that life is not a matter of victory or defeat. Your self-worth is not judged by your strength. Aww. Except that she thought he was trying to kill her just moments ago, so that's a bit of a swerve.
Man, that's odd.
So, kind of the canon ending to the fight is that Ryu does manage to rescue her, and, you know, she's awestruck that he would be so kind and decides to follow his example, which makes sense in that branch, but not in this one.
I'm guessing this was more of a... I don't know, like, the developers didn't foresee this, so they just... they went with it.
I guess so. Anyways, next episode we will be advancing the main storyline. Have a wonderful day, and God bless y'all.
Alright, I'll see you later, YouTube.
Bye!